still connecting, but we'll get started. Hopefully she'll be able to get back connected soon. There's not a whole lot of cardio today. We're going to do a lot of balance and stability and core work with our weightlifting. So a little bit slower pace, but there are a few cardio movements set up in each circuit. What we're going to do is we're going to go through each circuit 2 times. So we will get started here. Ooh, that's the wrong timer. Here we go. Okay. Turn this down. Okay, guys, so I'm going to have you guys go ahead and start standing with me. We're going to start with those arm circles. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tuck that pelvis underneath us, keeping the core nice and tight. And let's start with those forward arm circles. So just moving those shoulders. Again, just warming everything up through their full range of motion, trying to pull them back, down, wrap them around and through. I'm going to have you go one more this way, and then I want you to go ahead and switch your direction to the opposite. So now coming backwards, you're going to feel much more strain pulling those arms back and around. And what we want to try to avoid is as we start to bring those arms up, don't let your butt poke out to shorten your back. So pull your ribs back into that alignment, even if that means your circles have to be a little bit wider to get that full range of motion, okay? So we're just kind of, again, just warming everything up, trying to get those shoulders moving. You may feel a little bit of grinding or some popping, or maybe they just feel stiff this afternoon. Gosh, this day's flown by. We're near the end of the day. It's hard to tell because the mornings and the afternoons look exactly the same, dark. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to have you take one leg out in front of you. We're going to come into that hinging hamstring stretch. So you can take a small bend in the knee, but for the most part, we want this leg nice and long. You're going to be just moving into that hip. So again, not moving on my back, not moving at my shoulders. I'm just going to push my hip back and then engage to stand up. So we're really just trying to lengthen out this leg in front of us. Exhale, breathe into that hinge. Inhale to release. We have about 20 more seconds here. So if you want to go a little bit faster than I am, absolutely feel free to. If you want to move slower, take it slower. If you want to hold at the bottom, hold at the bottom. Especially when it comes to these warm-ups, this is really, really your time to just kind of explore your body, see how it's feeling today. Kind of equate yourself with, I'm feeling a little tight. Maybe I'm just going to hold the stretch a little longer. Or maybe you feel good and you want to kind of work on getting that blood circulating. We're going to go one more on this side. And then I'm going to have you go ahead and switch your feet. So again, let's keep that back nice and long. If you need to take the small bend in the knee, you can on this leg. But we're just really focusing on making this movement come from our hips. So the moment I start to feel my back round, or even my shoulders round forward, I know that my body is thinking chest to the ground and is instead curling at my torso instead of thinking lengthening my hamstring and calf and pushing my head back. So really think about taking those hips not only back behind you, but aim for like the ceiling, like you're going to take your tailbone up towards the sky as you push it back. We're going to go 10 more seconds on this side, and then we're going to pick up the tempo just a bit with this warm-up with a few skips. So we'll get that blood circulating just a bit. Finish this last one for me. And I want you guys to grab your imaginary jump ropes, okay? So we're going to be here. You can pick any kind of hop you want to do. I'm going to start with just like a side shuffle. This is a good little light one to start with. But if you want to start picking up the knees, or you want to do like a double hop, or if you want to move forward and back, again, we're just trying to stay really light on our feet. And again, get that blood pumping. So you can alternate, you can hop on one foot, you can really make it interesting, or you can just give me a regular hop. You can go in and out, forward and back, so many variations. We're gonna go here another 15 seconds, and then we are gonna come into a squat with a hammy stretch. So I'll show you exactly what that means. For those of you with limited range of motion or really tight hamstrings or low back, I'm gonna show you the modified version first, okay? So let's go ahead, we'll go 2, 1, and time. So modified, you're gonna find a couch, a coffee table, a chair. You're gonna put your hands on it, you're gonna squat down with the hands on the coffee table, and you're gonna extend your hips back. Down, exhale, push back. Again, keeping the back long, the core braced. If you have the ability, you're gonna squat down to the ground Push the hips up, trying to keep the back, again, as flat as you can. If you lie somewhere in the middle, you can also grab onto your dumbbells, squat, use them to slightly elevate your palms so that you can not have to reach all the way down to the ground. And really just taking your time in that stretch. Inhale down, exhale, push into the stretch. So we're using our breathing slightly different than when we are using our weights here. I'm gonna give you another 20 seconds. Just take your time, work on keeping the back long, and really extending into the hips and the hamstrings here. Last 10. You're gonna pick up the tempo again for our last 2 movements in this warm-up. We're gonna go here, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make your way back up to a standing position. You're gonna transition with me into a jumping jack. So this is our modified, it's that step out. Or if you're feeling good, let's go for it. Moving those legs in and out, staying light on the toes, whether you're stepping or you're doing that full jack. We're staying on the tips of our toes, our heels are staying lifted, and we're working through a big range of motion through our arms and our legs. We got 20 seconds. We're gonna make our last transition in this warm-up into our squat punch punch, and then we are down on the ground for our first set. So you're gonna go here, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. You're gonna come here, you're gonna squat, punch, punch. Squat, punch, punch. So I'm twisting my body, squat, use that breath to power through that punch. Use the core. We're gonna go 20 seconds. And again, go as low into the squat as you want, but you wanna think you're coming underneath the boxing ropes, you're coming at 1, 2. Come under, punch it out. Use that power. You got 10 seconds. We're gonna go here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, we're starting on the ground today. So I'm gonna bring you guys down. If you need to readjust, please feel free to. Like I said, today does not have a whole lot of cardio, and instead we will be working with more stability through our center and the dumbbells today. So we're gonna lay on our back. You guys are gonna start with just a regular floor press. Before we get started, let's close that gap. So I'm gonna pull my ribs and my core into the ground. You should have a flat back into the ground. Elbows are gonna go wide. We're gonna go 1 up, 1 down. So you're gonna join me here in 2, 1, and go. So push them together, bring them down. We are just warming up the muscles, getting ready for this circuit, which is gonna be core and chest focused for this first round. Exhale up, inhale down. Think about squeezing the thumbs together, just giving yourself that cue of bringing the thumbs to touch at the top is really gonna help you engage your pecs and the front of your shoulder a bit more. And then I want you to keep periodically checking in on that core. Make sure it's squeezed into your mat and into the floor. Nice, strong center. We have 15 seconds left. Exhale, push up, inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down. All right, last few reps. We're gonna go here, 3, 2, 1, and time. You guys are resting. I'm gonna show you your next movement. We're gonna take those legs to tabletop, so I have my knees right on top of my hips and my feet at 90. We're gonna come into that rotating shoulder press. So I'm gonna start with them out, rotate them to come back together, rotate back out. So it goes wide to close, okay? We're gonna go here, ready, set, go. Again, the reason we put those feet in tabletop is that it makes it that much harder for our core to stabilize. So I want you to take this slow. It's more of a 2, 2 up or 3, 3. So I'm going 1, 2, 3 down. 1, 2, 3, rotate up. Okay, nice and controlled, core stays strong. And then check your legs for me. If you notice a lot of movement side to side, or maybe even slightly up and down, I need you to brace your core a bit more to help stabilize those legs in that tabletop position. So we have 10 seconds. We're gonna go through each of these exercises twice, so you can use this first round just to get acquainted and then more of a warm up. You're gonna get this last rep, you're gonna rest, and I'm gonna show you your next movement. So the next one, we're gonna keep the shoulders and core glued into the ground. It's a close press. You're gonna drop the opposite foot and arm and leg into a skull crusher, right here. And then release out. If that is too hard on your low back, first, don't bring it to the ground, just let it release a little bit. Or if you just can't, you're just gonna leave it at tabletop, okay? So go ahead and join me. Here we go, guys. Exhale, push. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Elbow stays right on top of that shoulder for the skull crusher. And we're moving the whole leg at the hip. We're not bending at the knee. Bring it down. Exhale, push up. Left, right, right, left. All right. You got about 20 seconds left. Keep it slow and controlled. Focus on creating that tension. All right, guys, last few reps. We're gonna go here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Okay, next movement. I'm gonna work from the easiest to the harder version. So easiest, I am gonna find myself a coffee table or a couch, and I'm gonna do it from here. You can do it from the knees. This is the very easiest, so I'll go knee push up, tuck my toes, pop up to plank, 1, 2, drop back down. Next version, I'm gonna be up, and I'm gonna get that full push up elevated, and I'm gonna go 1, 2, okay? If you want to try it from the ground, you can do a knee push up like this, push up, untuck the toes, 1, 2, plank, or full version of it, we're up in the push up, we're gonna go 1, 2 into that mountain climber, okay? Any of those variations work, guys. I just want you to choose whatever's gonna work best for you. I want range of motion over you being in a full plank. So if you can get a better push up on your knees, go for the knees, because that matters more to me than anything. All right, let's go. We're going here in 2, 1, and go. So our core is strong, our shoulders are pulled back and down. We're doing 1 push up, 1 climber, 2 climbers, drop into the push up. With the climbers, I want your belly button to slightly round up. So if you see my low back, it rounds up towards the ceiling, like I'm doing a crunch, because I am. That's what I mean, I'm crunching. Then I find that tall plank again, okay? So even if you're elevated, focus on bringing the rib and the hip together as the knee drives, so you get a lot of flexion through your core. Make sure you're breathing. We got 15 seconds. Squeak out these last few reps. Almost there. Less than 10, guys. Breathe. We're gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, we are laying down on the ground. Last one in this set. You're just gonna give me a cross-body crunch. So we will alternate legs. We're gonna bring the knee up to that elbow, okay? So we're gonna go here in 2, 1, and go. So I'm gonna exhale, squeeze across, and then release. Exhale, squeeze, and then release. I wanna try to pick my shoulders up, and I wanna try to aim my elbow for the outside of that bent knee. So you're working the entire core. We have the TA working and the obliques working through this full range. And I'm gonna use that strong exhale as I come up to use my core more. So as I exhale, I'm squeezing into that flexion pose. We have 15 seconds. Almost there. Last 10. All right, guys, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. You're resting, we're not taking a break. We're gonna go right into it. So you're gonna come back to your floor press. We're grabbing onto those dumbbells. We're gonna stay with that 1-1 tempo, okay? So nice strong center. Grab onto those weights. We're going here in 3, 2, 1, and go. Final and last time through with all of these. So we are really gonna challenge ourselves. We're gonna make it tough. I will have a couple curveballs, a couple accelerators that we can add to some of the movements. If you want the challenge, I want you to add them into yours, okay? If it doesn't feel hard enough. Exhale, squeeze, inhale down. All right, guys, 20 seconds. If you want a challenge, you can take your legs up and start to find an angle that you can comfortably support with those legs. Keep the core strong. The lower you take those feet, the harder that feels. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Time. Rest and recover. We are coming into that rotating press. So we had our feet at tabletop like this, and then we're rotating into it. Again, if it's uncomfortable, take the feet to the ground. You don't need to do tabletop. It's only if we can support the low back. We're going to go here in 2, 1, and go. So you're going to exhale, rotate up. Inhale, rotate down. Working on that range. Slow and controlled if we can. So we want to go 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, down. Perfect. Strong center. If you want an extra challenge, we are halfway. What you can do is, as you start to push up, you're going to release the legs down, and then you're going to pull them up. So what we did is we added this little leg raise. Again, everything we're doing today is pretty core intensive, even though we're focusing on those abs. If you need a modified version, keep the legs bent, tap them to the toe or to the ground. We're going to go 2, 1, and time. All right, coming into that next close grip press into that skull crusher with that alternating leg tap, okay? We're going to get you guys going here in about 5 seconds. We'll go here 3, 2, 1, and go strong center. Drop into your skull crusher, reach that toe to the ground. Again, play with your angle. So if your low back hurts or you feel your hip flexors, that means you need to bring the leg not as low. Maybe it's only going part of the way and then releasing up. It doesn't have to hit the ground. If you want an extra challenge, extend the legs long and then begin to go into a full leg raise. Again, it's all about finding a range of motion that's going to challenge you. Everyone's a little bit different, and it is your workout. As long as you're staying safe and you're feeling those muscles engage, that is all that matters to me. We got about 10 seconds. You should be starting to feel those triceps. Almost there, guys. We're going to go here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. We're popping up. We have that push up with that mountain climber. Again, you can go knee push up to a climber here. You can go planked to a climber, or you can be down on the ground with me, knees, or a full planked push up, okay? We're going to go here in 2, 1, and go. So we're going to get that full push up, and then you're going to go 1, 2, push up. So again, create that flexion. 1, 2, we got 30 seconds. Once your arms start to fatigue, you can absolutely modify that push-up or just give me that climber. Just breathe through it. This one's pretty tough. There's not a whole lot we can do to make it harder besides adjusting our angles or our tempo. Keep yourself strong. We're almost there, guys. We got 10 seconds. Your goal is to get one more in, one more full rep. Bring it down, push up. 1, 2, go ahead and rest. All right, last one, we're coming onto our backs. We have that cross body crunch, so we're just alternating those legs. Again, we have a small accelerator that I'll add in the middle of the set if you want an extra challenge to finish this one out. We're gonna go here in 2, 1, and go. So you're pulling, crunch, and release. Crunch, and release. Really, let's focus on trying to get that contact to the knee. If you're getting close, that's great. Every rep, see if you can get a little closer. If you're already making contact, awesome. You got to touch it every time now. You can't let yourself cheat one of those reps. Make sure you get there every time. Big exhale up, inhale down. All right, if you want the challenge, we turn it into a pulse. So we're going to go squeeze, squeeze, release. Pulse, squeeze, squeeze, release. We got 10 seconds. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, you guys. Go ahead and find a seated position. We're gonna come into our next circuit. Again, because today is not super cardio intense, we're not having a huge amount of breaks in today's workout. So if you need to grab water, you can feel free to grab it as I explain the next exercise. We're gonna find a nice comfortable cross. So again, some of you may want to take the legs out in front of you. Some of you may want to cross at the ankles. Some of you may want to give yourself a full stack opening in the hips, but just finding a position that's comfortable that you can sit up tall and keep your core braced, okay? You're just gonna need one dumbbell. We're gonna go into a shoulder press. So we're gonna exhale, push up, and we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, down, okay? So we're gonna go here in about 5 seconds. Grab onto that dumbbell, pull those shoulders back and down. Here we go. Big push up. And then I want you to pull those shoulders back, down, and squeeze together. Big push up. And you don't need weights, so it's okay. Go through it without the weights. Big push up. Your shoulders are tight. Are you okay? Okay. If it feels okay, just go without the weights. That's totally fine. What I'm really trying to get us to do is brace our core, and then I want you to focus, just like on those arm circles we were doing, pull those shoulders into that full retracted position. And as you start to release those elbows, about halfway down, I want you to lift your chest up, even if it's just that mental cue of lifting it higher, to feel your lats spread and engage a bit more. So this is really just a focused pose. There's not a lot of weight we're moving, but we're actively flexing through it. We're gonna go 2, 1, and time. All right, we're gonna come into a front raise. Again, we can go here, and we can go 1, 2, 3 down, or we can go for one more tempo. I'm just gonna use one dumbbell. If that is hard on your shoulders, you can also push straight out in front of you, okay? So we're gonna go here in 2, 1, and go. So we're gonna bring it up. And if we can, we'll go 1, 2, 3, down. Perfect. Bring it up. 1, 2, 3, down. Now, quick posture check. As you're lifting up, make sure that your back is flat. So feel that back out. What happens whenever we're kind of lifting up or we're straining, we tend to shorten the low back. Keep the core strong. Don't let that low back arch. Big exhale up, slow drag. Awesome, yeah, pushing out is a great modifier, just right here, and then bring it in. We got 15 seconds though. Try to battle out these last few reps, whatever version you're doing. We got 7 seconds. All right, guys, we're gonna go 3, 2, 1, and time. Okay, we are gonna come into a bear crawl, or modified if you don't feel comfortable with the bear crawl. You'll be elevated again, and this time it's gonna be just a crunch, crunch. You'll be here the whole time, okay? Again, I want to pull my belly, so you see that flexion in my back? That's creating my core activate, okay? I can just pull my knee and use my hip flexor, but I want it like that, okay? So you're gonna really try to vacuum that belly button up. If you are up for the challenge, you're gonna join me on the ground. We're gonna untuck those toes, so we're in our fourplex position, nice neutral spine. Untuck our toes so our knees are just hovering above the ground. You'll take opposite foot, opposite arm. 3 steps forward, 1, 2, 3. 3 steps back, 1, 2, 3. If you only have space for 2, do 2, whatever you have space for, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys about 10 seconds to decide what version is gonna work best for you. Both are very focused on the shoulders and the abs. All right, so we're gonna go here in 3, 2, 1, and go. So bear crawlers, we're 3 steps forward, 3 steps back. Again, the more parallel to the ground I can be, the harder this is. So I want to try to just glide my knees over the front of the floor. They're not actually touching, but they're so close that they almost would. If you are elevated in that climber, that's great. Let's focus on that flexion as you drive each of those knees up. Don't worry about tempo, it's not for cardio. It's for contraction and stability through the center. We're almost there, guys. 10 seconds. Breathe through it. We're gonna go here, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, we're gonna finish this round out with a plank. Again, you can take it elevated. You can go modified down on the knees like this. You can go elbows like this, or you can bring it all the way up. You choose your version. We're gonna go here in 2, 1, and go. So find a version that works for you. The wider my feet, the easier and more stabilized I am, so I can start with a wider base. Or if I want more of a challenge, I can go ahead and take my feet and stack them right on top of each other. Now I just noticed my weight was shifted back. So if you notice that your hands are slightly in front of your shoulders, I want you to shift your weight right on top of your hands. So your shoulders, hands, wrists are all in alignment. And then actively squeeze that core. We want to really flex through this movement. 15 seconds. Keep pulling the belly button, squeeze the glutes, push the heels back behind you. We're almost there, guys. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. You got this. 7 seconds. Keep holding. We're going to go here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay. That is our second circuit. Again, pretty short. We're going to go through it one more time. This will be your final time. We're going to find that crisscross position. What I would like to do is, if you normally had the right leg in front, I want you to go ahead and switch those legs. So find the cross to the opposite side, and it may feel a little bit awkward because we tend to, oops, I didn't get it that last time. We tend to pick the side that we feel more comfortable with. We're going to start with that shoulder press. Again, I got a little bit of something to throw at you if you want it, okay? So we are going to get you guys going here in 3, 2, 1, and go. We're all going to start together. Big exhale up, pull, and bring it down to the chest. Squeeze through those shoulder blades. Nice tall posture. Exhale up, pull, and squeeze down. So you're working both directions. You're pushing and controlling the weight up, and then you're pulling and retracting the shoulder blades back and down. Now, if you want an extra challenge, what you're going to do is you're going to hang out at the top of this movement, and we're going to go here. We're going to speed it up, and we're going to keep our core nice and strong. 15 seconds, shorter pulsing movement, keeping those shoulders active, still working them through their full range. 7 seconds. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Take a second to shake them out if you need to. We're going to go ahead and come into that front raise. Again, we'll start here. 1, 2, 3 down. If that is too hard, you go here into that shoulder, or that more that chest press, okay? So we're going to go here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Bring it up. Slow drive down. Again, really cognizant of what our core and our low back is doing. And also just be aware if you're swinging at all. So if you don't focus, you'll kind of lean back as you lift the dumbbell up. Try to keep yourself stacked right on those hips. Keep the center strong. Don't let yourself lean back. If you want an extra challenge, just like we did with that shoulder press, we're going to pulse out. We're only going to go 15 seconds at the top of this movement. So we'll only go halfway down and all the way up. You got about 5 seconds to get one more full rep. And then if you want to join me, we're pulsing here for 15. So right here, exhale, squeeze. 14. There we go. All right, squeeze 10. Squeeze 9. Oh yeah. 8. Yes, they're burning. 7. We got this. 6. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah. All right. Shake it out. You guys are going to come into your my gosh, Monday brain, mountain climber or your bear crawl, okay? So whichever one you chose last time, you can stick with that, or if you want to try the other one, you can absolutely switch it up. There's no rules here. Just pick whatever is going to be easiest or best for you, okay? So we're going to go here in about 8 seconds, guys. If you're joining me for the bear crawl, again, keep the core tight. Let's hover right above the ground. We're going to go here in 2, 1, and go. If you're up, that's awesome. Just pull into those mountain climbers. Try to get flexion through each rep. Now the second round of bear crawls, you're really going to start to feel those quads ignite. Keep it low though. If you can keep those hips in alignment with your shoulders, even better. Shoulders back and down, hips in that straight line. We got 25 seconds. Almost there. 15 seconds. All right, you guys made it to your last 10, let's go. Almost there. We're gonna go here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, everybody, we have your plank. Choose a version that works for you. Elevated, on your knees, on your forearms, on your hands, fully up. We're going 50 seconds. We're gonna come up into a standing set next, so you'll have a little break here. Let's go up. Again, pull that core in. I want you to stay as active as you can. So I'm gonna pull my shoulders away from my ears. I'm gonna put myself into that slightly flexed position, thinking about driving my ribs down to my hips. I'm gonna squeeze my booty. I'm gonna push my heels back behind me. So you should feel your quads, your glutes, your core, your back, your shoulders, everything's working. Everything's tense and tight. And it's easy to just hold this and kind of go through the motions. But if you activate and really flex through this, your body's gonna be shaking. Like I am shaking right now. It is tough. I am burning. It's 10 seconds. We're gonna battle this last 10. Breathe through it. We're gonna go here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. You guys have a small break. We're gonna make our way up to standing for this next circuit. So I'm gonna move my camera, and if you need to adjust anything, go ahead. If you need to grab water, go ahead. We're gonna bring it up and over just a bit. Okay, so we are still in rest mode, but this new movement, or the movement I'm gonna show you next is new. So I'm gonna take some time to explain it to you. And then I wanna give you guys a couple options, okay? So I'm gonna start this way. What you're gonna do, it's a split stance. You're gonna sink down into the hip. I'm gonna pick this foot up, and then I'm gonna kick into this hinge. Release down to the ground. So it is this cross between a lunge and a Romanian. We're not actually going full range of motion on either one. If you do not feel super stable or comfortable with this movement because you know your knees or maybe your hips aren't super strong, then you're gonna just give me either your step back, where you're gonna pick up the foot, step up, so I don't drop into my hips at all. I just focus on really stepping up through that front leg. Or you can give me that step back lunge, but again, you're gonna start to pick that foot up early to give me that full flexion, okay? We're not using any weights on either of these, so we just have to worry about balancing ourselves. If the only thing you're struggling with, it's not joint pain or anything like that, is your balance, you can also grab onto the wall or a chair to help you out, okay? Please do that. All right, we're gonna go here. One side, don't switch. We're going here in 3, 2, 1, and go. So it takes a little practice. You're gonna drop down, you're gonna kick and lift. Ooh, see? Down, kick, and lift. Find that center, find that spot to focus your gaze on. We're coming up through that front leg. Lots of glute, lots of quad. Tall posture, and then sink to hinge. The back doesn't bend. This is that same hinging movement we've been practicing in our stretches, in our Romanians, in that hammy reach. We're forcing the hips and the glutes to create that range of motion for us. We got 15 seconds, guys. Breathe through it. I know, we are burning. We are almost there. Last 10. We're gonna go here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake out that leg. We're gonna find that same movement on the opposite side, okay? So we're resting here. We're gonna ground our foot. We'll take that split stance. We're gonna get you guys going here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So I'm gonna drop straight down, lift, and push my hip. Find my center, down, and push. It's gonna be a little bit easier, at least balance-wise, if you keep your back foot a little closer to your front foot. If you want more of a challenge, you step that leg further back behind you to really stretch out into it. But that knee, if you see my knee position, it still glides over the front of my foot. Like if I were wearing shoes, my knee would be covering my shoelaces at the bottom of this movement. All right, guys, 10 seconds. Almost there. We're gonna go here, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Shake it out. We're gonna come grab our dumbbells. You're gonna hold them by the top, slightly wider than your hips. You're gonna squat, stand up, hinge into that Romanian, okay? So now we're doing that two of the very similar movements, but we're getting the full range of motion. We'll go here in 2, 1, and go. So drop to the squat, stand all the way up. Now flat back, hips go back, squeeze that booty through, drop back into that squat. Both these movements, I want my glutes to activate the movement on the way up and out of it. So at my squat, I start squeezing my glutes to drive and push out of the ground. At my Romanian, I start squeezing my glutes forward to bring my hips back in alignment with my knees. We got 20 seconds. If you look at my torso through both movements, my back, my shoulders, nothing changes. It's all at the knees, all at the hips. We got 10 seconds left. We're gonna go here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Drop the dumbbells. All right, hands go behind the ears. Pull the shoulders back and down. Push the elbows back behind you. We're gonna go into a lunge. Pull that knee up, rotate, then crunch, okay? If you need to go step back, give me just the step back, not the full lunge. All right, let's go into it. Alternate those feet. What I want to avoid is bringing my knee to my elbow, okay? That was my knee to my elbow. What I want to do instead is rotate, then pull and squeeze. Like I'm doing a bicycle crunch on the ground, but I'm doing it in balance, and I'm still vacuuming that belly button behind me like we did on those mountain climbers. So that just got so much harder if I really focus on keeping my knee in the same spot and force my elbow to rotate and then bring it down. So I'm using my core to get down there. We got 10 seconds. Again, we're not moving super fast. This is more about control. Almost there. We're gonna go 2, 1, and time. All right, nice wide base, toes turned out, hands still on the ears. You're gonna go sumo squat, tuck your glutes underneath you. You're gonna crunch right, crunch left, center, stand up, okay? So just follow along with me. We'll go here in 3, 2, 1, and go. So you're gonna come down, go right, go left, center it, push out. Good. Glutes underneath you. Keep the core strong. Reach elbow, center, squeeze that booty up, bring it down, crunch, crunch, center, push and squeeze up. All right, we are halfway. If this becomes too hard on your legs, you can separate the movement, meaning I can give you sumo, and then I can go crunch standing, center sumo, okay? But if you can, stay low. Challenge yourself here. We got about 10 seconds, less than 10 actually. We're gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, guys. We're going into a cardio movement. One of our very few ones of the workout. You are going to, 2 options, couple options. Split jump. So this is it. 1, 2, 1, 2, okay? If you don't feel comfortable, again, 1, 2, 1, 2. You can go step, 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 okay? Just taking that jumping out of it. We're gonna see how fast you get those feet moving no matter what version you choose. We have 8 seconds, okay? The lower you get in the jumps, the harder they are. So you can also challenge yourself by getting a little bit lower. 2, 1, and go. So I'm gonna go modified first. 1, 2, 1, 2, okay? 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm gonna take it up. 1, 2, hop, hop. 1, 2, hop, hop. Yes. There we go. All right, now we have our rhythm. We know what we're doing. How fast can you move those feet through that? Even if you're stepping, you can really focus on that tempo. Set that toe back behind you, pick it right back up. Don't give it a lot of time to rest on the ground. Almost there, guys. 10 seconds. All right, we're gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. We're resting. We're coming one more time through. So quick recap. First movement was that weird hinging lunge Romanian movement, okay? I don't even know what the name is, so we'll just call it, it's the single leg movement. All right, so we'll go here in 2, 1, and go again. You can always turn it into a lunge or just a step back. But if you have the ability, the balance, you feel strong, it doesn't hurt your knees, I want you to give it a go. Focus on extending that hip back, trying to eventually get that chest almost parallel. But again, if I can, I want to kick and move into it. So eventually I can find this nice little tempo rhythm where it becomes really fluid and it looks something like this. But if you're not there yet, slow it down. Separate it out a bit more. 7 seconds though. We're gonna go here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Shake out that leg. You're resting. We're gonna do the opposite side. You got about 10 seconds here. All right, guys. Let's get set up. Ground that foot. Roll those shoulders. Brace our core. We're going here in 2, 1, and go. Dipping down. Kick and release. Remember what we talked about with angles? I can bring my foot a little bit closer to make it easier. If you're struggling with the balance, grab onto something, just a light tap of the fingers to a piece of furniture or even a wall will do a world of help. Don't move any faster than you can control, but if you're feeling good, you can start to really transition into a little bit of tempo. You're gonna get a nice little burn out of this. You're gonna get a burn no matter what. But we have about 15 seconds. Breathe through it. Woo, balance. Ha. Almost there. 7 seconds. Let's go. Get low. Drive and kick. We're gonna go 2, 1 at a time. Shake up those legs. If you need to, grab onto your dumbbells. We have our squat into our Romanian. So dumbbells are gonna go centered. We're slightly wider than our hips. We're gonna go here in 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Drop into your squat. Come all the way out. Squeeze that booty through. Stick your hips back. Big stretch. Pull through, squeeze. Again, whenever we come into this Romanian, guys, I want you to see how close these dumbbells are to my knees. They're actually kind of brushing against them. I don't want my dumbbells too far out in front of me. This puts a lot of strain on my back. You shouldn't feel your back. You should feel your quads and your glutes, okay? So keep them nice and tight to your body, bracing your core, using that booty to squeeze through. If this does hurt your back, I want you to go just into your squat. Take the hinge out of it. We got 10 seconds. Almost there. Breathe. We're gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, dropping the dumbbells. Hands on the ears. We're gonna go into that lunge or step back into that crunch, okay? So we're really gonna focus on the flexion just like we did with the mountain climber. Vacuum, create that curve to bring your knee to your elbow. We're going here in 2, 1, and go. So bring it down. Rotate first, then pull and squeeze. You can just really feel the difference when you actually stay really aware and you put that extra effort into thinking of it as a core movement, like a flex crunch, just like we would do on the ground. It's just like that alternating crossbody crunch we did earlier. The only difference is we brought the intensity up by bringing you into a standing position. And then we threw a lunge at it just to make it even better. So just really focus, find your center, do your best to create that flexion just like you would on the ground. It's hard at first, so if it's a struggle, that's fine. Keep working, eventually you'll be able to connect. We're gonna go here, 2, 1, and time. All right, wide base, tuck the pelvis, keep your back flat. With this squat, we wanna pretend like we're up against a wall, we're sliding up and down the wall, our hips don't go back behind us, okay? We're gonna go here in 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Down, crunch, crunch, center, squeeze and push. Now with these sumos, we have that mental cue we can give ourselves of thinking about our feet sliding. They're not sliding, but you're gonna push out on your feet as you push up out of the ground. And just by giving yourself that cue of pushing out as you push up, feel your inner thigh and your glutes really start to ignite. Bring it down. Push out of the ground, but slide your feet out. Big squeeze. Yes. All right, 20 seconds, down. Now, if you need to come, if your legs are shot, bring it up and just give me the crunch at the top. We got 10 seconds left. Almost there. All right, guys, 4, 3, 2, 1. We've got one more movement. Remember, step, step, hop, hop, or split it, jump, jump, okay? We're gonna go here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Guys, you are almost done. We have one more little circuit, and it's all core, okay? I'm in the modified. I'm gonna take it up a notch. 1, 2, hop, hop. Again, let's see how quick and explosive, no matter what version we chose, we can be direct those movements. Woo. Do it with some force, do it with some focus, stay on those toes. We got 25 seconds. 1, 2, hop, hop. 1, 2, hop, hop. There we go. Now, if you need to slow down, that's fine. Remember, the goal is to keep the body moving though. If you can push it, let's push it. Because we only got 10 seconds. Here we go, guys. We're gonna go here. 3, 2, 1. Time. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. You're coming down your mat. This is our last circuit, guys. We have, what do we have? 1, 2, 3. 3 movements, 2 times, 6 minutes of work, and you're done. Okay, so the first one, we are creating a rolling motion with our core. So what I don't want, I'm gonna show you the modified version. You use your arms a little bit, but not a lot. So I'm in my V, I'm gonna let myself rock back, and then I'm gonna push myself up if I need to. Again, the further back I go, the harder this is. So if I come all the way down to the ground, this requires a lot more core strength than if maybe I'm like halfway, and then I peel up, okay? That's option 1. Option 2, you can take the arms up. And again, now you can really focus on not using those legs or those arms at all, okay? Option 3, you're gonna take yourself all the way down with the arms above the head. Now I want you to look at all 3 options, what my back looks like. My back is in a curved position because my core is flexed. I'm in this flexed position. What I don't want is a really long back, because then you're gonna feel your hips just burn, okay? So if you're feeling the hips, first I want you to take a quick check at your posture and try to put yourself into that flexed crunch position, okay? If it's still hurting, I want you to take it all the way down to the ground, and I want you to do just a crunch, okay? And that's totally fine, totally acceptable. You're gonna get a great workout. But if you're up for it and we can get it without turning on those hip flexors too much, let's go for it. I'm gonna progress through all 3 levels as we get through the set, so just follow along with me. If you wanna take it up a notch, you can just follow my guide. All right, guys, let's get started. So we're gonna go here in 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So version 1, my arms are on the ground. I'm gonna roll down, roll up. I have my arms to help me, but again, I'm gonna do my best not to push too much out of them. Option 2, I'm gonna take the arms up. That's the only thing that changed. Now I can't really push out of the ground. I have to use my core. Option 3, I'm gonna really extend my body out. So the longer my limbs are, the heavier they feel. That's why this is so much harder right here. Again, I wanna roll down and roll up. Now how far I roll depends on how strong my core feels. We got about 15 seconds, guys. Almost there. Last 10. We're gonna go here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax here for a second. We're gonna come down to the ground. We're gonna put our hands underneath our glutes and we're gonna come into our reverse crunch. So the cue is to think about taking your knees up to your forehead. Whether they get there or not, that's fine. That's just the mental cue we're gonna tell our body. We're gonna go here in 2, 1, and go. So I'm gonna roll my hips up. Now it's all about the control down. So if I can really squeeze and control my back and my hips back down, that just made that movement that much harder. I don't care about quantity, I care about quality. Now this is a movement that takes a very long time to get good at. So if this is new to you, you may feel like you're just lifting like this and lowering down. That's fine. You are doing it. You are doing the movement. You will get to the point where you can get more range of motion. You're just gonna keep practicing. You're gonna see if you can lift those knees just a little bit further over your torso. Squeeze and control those hips back down. We have 10 seconds. All right, guys, we're gonna go here. 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Okay, last one, we're gonna take yourself into a bicycle position, or butterfly. The bottom of your feet are gonna touch, your knees are gonna go out wide. So like you're in a butterfly stretch. You can wrap around the head, you can crunch here, or if you want, you can bring your arms out in front of you to make it a little harder and crunch. What I want to avoid is swinging. That's using my momentum of my arms to pull through, okay? So let's go here in 3, 2, 1, and go. So tuck your chin. If you need to support the neck, support the neck. Again, look at how curved my spine is. Some of you may just get the shoulders up, that's fine. This is great, okay? If you can get a little bit more of the mid back up, even better. But you're not gonna sit all the way up because that actually turns off the core on this one. The other thing is once I feel comfortable with my range of motion, I want to be very aware of what my knees and my legs are doing. If they're fluttering every time I'm rolling up, my hips are still kind of working. So I'm gonna do my best to start steadying them out as much as I can. Exhale up, inhale down. We have 10 seconds. All right, guys, this is it. We're going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. We're gonna go through that one more time, guys, and then you're gonna take a quick stretch and be done. So we have that hollow hold. Again, choose the variation that works best for you. A crunch is your modified version. We're gonna go here in 4 seconds. We got 2, 1, and go. So if we're gonna go easy, I'm right here. My hands are here to help me. Again, look at my back, I'm curved. I don't have to go all the way down to the ground, but if I can, I will. Hands come up to make it a little harder. And if this still feels super easy for you, you can begin to extend the limbs a little bit longer and above your head. I really want to try to create a movement for my core. There is a little bit of momentum we're creating, right? But I want that flexion, that beginning of that momentum to start from moving my abs. We got 10 seconds. Awesome, you got this. We're gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. We're gonna come into our reverse crunch. So again, let's put those hands underneath the glutes to help protect the low back. We're gonna bend the knees. We're gonna always keep those knees bent. We're gonna go here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. And it's okay to push off of these hands underneath you, because that, if you can control and get a little bit more range of motion, you'll get a better control on the way down. So if you need to push out of the ground a little bit, don't be afraid to use those hands to help you just a bit. If you don't have to use them, even better. But it's a good little technique to get your hips up higher, and then you can really start to control that roll back down to the ground. And then again, if we're just right here, this is fine. This is still a great workout. I still get a lot of lower abs just rolling just to about my belly button or even my ribs. So don't feel like you're not doing enough if that's all you have. You're doing great. Keep squeezing. We're almost there. We're gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Bring those legs into that butterfly pose. Let's do our best to keep our legs and our hips still. Try not to create momentum. Pull your belly button into the ground. We're gonna go here in 5 seconds. We've got 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. We're gonna exhale, roll. Inhale, release. Exhale, roll. Inhale, release. Breathe through it. Now this is it. So if you want an extra challenge, you're gonna pulse at the top with me for the last 20 seconds. Optional, not required. If you are ready for it though, we're going here in 2, 1, and go. So it's just a pulse, otherwise you're still full range of motion. You're gonna match your breath to your movement. Exhale. Every time you peel up, you have 10 seconds, almost there. Let's go. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. All right, you guys, we're gonna get a quick stretch and you're gonna be all done today. So what I want you to do is we're gonna go ahead and find our hurdler stretch. So one leg is gonna go long here. The opposite foot is gonna tuck into our thigh. I'm gonna do my best to keep my knee up. Again, some of you may have the hip or the knee a little bit higher. It just means your hips are a little tighter. You're just gonna give yourself that cue again of guiding it to the ground. It may get there, it may not. Let's reach for an ankle, a calf, a toe. And then what I'm really gonna be concerned with is that circle sweep. So I wanna reach and keep my shoulder open as I reach across. And then think about taking my ribs out to really create this nice big side bend and stretch through my oblique and my low back. And this is a stretch again, we talked about. We wanna do this a lot. It really helps with our hips and our low back, especially when we sit a lot. This is a great one to help open up those areas. Breathe into that, exhaling the tension, inhaling into the stretch, reaching through those fingertips. 2 more big inhales and exhales. And then you're gonna go ahead and release. You're gonna find that same stretch on the opposite side. So what we'll do is bring the opposite leg in and out. Again, I'm gonna find that comfortable position with my knee, reach for my ankle, my calf, or my toe, and then take that big swooping arch across. And then whenever we do these stretches, we just really wanna be aware of what our body is doing and how it differs from side to side. So my hamstring feels much less tight on this side, but my back feels tighter. So I'm just kind of being cognizant of that so that when I come into these stretches, I can really adjust my body. So my back feels tighter. I'm gonna maybe open up my shoulder a little bit more than I would have on that right side and really overemphasize driving that rib and that hip up and out to extend that low back and hip. Go ahead and release there, guys. Go ahead and find a comfortable seated position. You can kneel, you can sit crisscross, you can bring your feet out in front of you. We're gonna bring that shoulder across. I want you to first though, pull that shoulder back and down so that it's away from your ear and then bring it across the body. Give it a tight little tuck. All right, we will release that side. We're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. So we're gonna make sure it's fully retracted, back and down, and then come across into our stretch. All right, we will release there. We're gonna take our feet long. We're gonna do our best to flex our feet. Again, I want to try to keep my posture tall. So I wanna be sitting upright like this. If that means I need to bend my knees a little bit, I'm gonna bend my knees up off of the mat, okay? As we go through the exercise, you can work on trying to draw them closer to the ground, or you can keep them bent through the full set. The first 5 are gonna be super active. The last bend where we're gonna hold, you're gonna be able to release the back and roll the back. But for the first 5, I want the posture really tall. We're gonna keep practicing that hip hinge, but now we're working on the flexibility aspect of it. So I'm gonna take a big inhale, I'm gonna flex my toes towards my face, and then I'm gonna go ahead and exhale, hinge forward. Look how tall my back is. It's not about range of motion. So I have clients that this is their range from here to here. If that's all you're at, that you can keep the back long, keep it there. If you can extend a little further, go for it. But again, everyone's range is gonna be different. So we're gonna exhale forward, long spine, inhale, roll back. Pull those shoulders away from your ears.